Imagine a war so vast, so devastating, that its echoes still ripple through the very fabric of reality itself. Not a war between men, not even a war between species. No, this was something far greater, an ancient war waged by civilizations that now exist only as whispers in the cosmic void. A war so cataclysmic, so utterly destructive, that every trace of it was deliberately erased. But why? What force was so terrifying that it had to be forgotten? What beings fought in a war that shaped the destiny of entire galaxies, yet left behind? No conquerors, no victors, only silence. And the real question, the one they don't want you to ask, is it truly over? Because buried within the oldest ruins of the universe, hidden in the anomalies no scientist dares explain, are traces of something impossible, something that should not exist. And yet it does. A war once fought beyond the reach of time itself, a war that changed everything. For centuries, astronomers have observed irregularities, galaxies with missing cores, stars that vanished without a trace, and relics older than the known universe itself. What if these aren't natural phenomena? What if they are scars, battle wounds from a war fought on a scale beyond our comprehension? There are records, fragments of knowledge hidden in the most ancient civilizations, myths that speak of gods who waged war across the heavens, wielding weapons that could erase entire star systems in an instant. We dismiss them as legends, stories told by primitive beings who gazed at the night sky and saw monsters lurking in the darkness. But what if they weren't just stories? What if the reason we find no survivors, no remnants of the victors, is because something ensured that no one would remember, that the war itself was wiped from existence, erased from history, from time, from the very structure of the universe? And yet, the evidence remains. There is one place, one forbidden sector of space that holds the answers. A dead system where physics itself seems to unravel, where light bends in unnatural ways, where even the most advanced probes fail to return. A place the ancient records only refer to as the silent void. What happened there? Who or what was? Powerful enough to end an intergalactic war and erase its memory from history? And the most chilling question of all, if this war was truly erased, why are we starting to remember? For centuries we have believed that the universe is ruled by the laws of physics, immutable, absolute, unbreakable. But what if those laws were not natural, but imposed? What if reality itself was rewritten after the war, sculpted to bury what came before? Deep in the archives of lost civilizations, those that mysteriously vanished without explanation, there are fragments of knowledge, whispers of a forgotten age. Some speak of beings that were not gods, but something far worse, entities that existed before time had meaning. Others tell of an empire so vast, so powerful, that it spanned entire galaxies, until it was suddenly gone, its ruins left adrift, like bones in the void. One such ruin was found on the edge of the Andromeda expanse, a planet that should not exist, a world where gravity shifts unpredictably, where structures defy logic, twisting, shifting, refusing to be understood. A world known only as Xarion 12. When an expedition was sent to explore its surface, they found something terrifying, monuments older than the universe itself. Carbon dating was impossible, for these structures seemed to exist outside of time, as if they had always been there. But the real horror? They weren't abandoned. Engraved on the walls deep beneath the planet's surface were symbols unlike anything seen before, pictographs of towering figures wreathed in darkness, of planets, shattered like glass of something vast, lurking in the cosmic abyss. And at the very center of it all, a message left behind by something that was never meant to be found. We were here before time. We will be here after. Then, the transmissions from the expedition stopped. No distress signals, no final words, just silence. Days later, an automated emergency beacon was activated from one of their ships in orbit. When a recovery team arrived, they found only one thing left behind: a single audio recording. No voices, no screams, just a single cryptic sound, a pulse, a rhythmic, droning vibration that seemed to grow louder the longer it was played, until the researchers shut it off in fear. One scientist swore they saw something move in the darkness while the audio played. Another claimed they felt their heartbeat synchronize with the pulse, as if it was trying to reach them. The data was classified. The planet was quarantined. The official report declared the mission a failure, but some believe the team never truly vanished. That Xarian 12 is not a ruin, but a prison. A place where something was locked away, something that was never meant to awaken, and yet the pulse continues, a signal reaching out into the void. But who is listening? Or worse, who is answering? For years, the signal from Xarian 12 remained an unsolved anomaly, a faint pulsing beacon echoing across the stars, its meaning unknown. Scientists dismissed it as background radiation, an echo of some ancient, cosmic event. But those who listened closely, those who truly studied the pulse, knew better, because it wasn't just a random signal. It was a countdown, a sequence repeating at impossible intervals, synchronized with the cosmic microwave background, the oldest light in the universe, as if it had been waiting, as if it had been dormant. Then something changed. The signal shifted. What was once a simple pulse evolved into something else, something intelligent. Across the galaxy, deep space monitoring stations began detecting strange gravitational distortions, as if something massive was moving in the void. Nebulas stirred with unexplainable energy fluctuations. Entire planetary systems, long thought lifeless, showed anomalous activity. On worlds where ancient ruins had been buried for millennia, automated distress beacons suddenly activated, transmitting encrypted messages in languages that had never been spoken by any known species. The message was always the same: they are returning. Who were they? The architects of the Lost War? The ones who erased history itself? Or something worse, something that even they feared? Classified reports from deep space reconnaissance fleets tell of black ships drifting in the abyss, vessels of unknown origin appearing in sectors where no life should exist, ships without a crew, ships that do not respond to any known frequency. And then one day, one of them moved. A lone deep space explorer, a long-range reconnaissance vessel from the outer colonies, stumbled upon a derelict structure in the Lyris expanse, a monolithic construct orbiting a dead star. No known species had built it. Its surface was scarred, as if it had survived a war beyond comprehension. The ship's pilot, against protocol, attempted to dock. The last transmission received from the explorer was garbled, filled with static. But there was one final sentence before the signal was lost forever. "It's not dead." Then silence. The ship was never recovered. The structure remains in orbit, untouched, unmapped, watching. But this is only the beginning, because if the pulse is truly a countdown, then time is running out, and whatever was buried is about to wake up. The stars are older than we can comprehend, silent witnesses to wars that predate even the concept of time itself. But now the silence is breaking. The countdown has nearly reached its final sequence, and the warnings are becoming impossible to ignore. On the distant colony world of Vornis 7, astronomers detected a gravitational anomaly unlike anything seen before. A void, a perfect absence, moving through space, devouring light, warping time, bending reality itself. At first, it was dismissed as a rogue black hole, but black holes do not change direction. They do not pursue. By the time they realized their mistake, it was too late. Vornis 7's final transmission was garbled, distorted beyond recognition. Yet through the static, one phrase was clear enough to send waves of terror through those who heard it. The stars are going out. Then nothing. No explosion. No impact. No debris. The entire planet, its people, its cities, its history, was erased in an instant. Not destroyed, removed, as if it had never existed. Across the galaxy, similar disappearances followed. Remote outposts, ancient relics, entire fleets, no wreckage, no distress calls, just a growing void claiming everything in its path. And yet in the ruins left behind there are signs of something else. Survivors, not of this time, not of this age, but something older. Things that should not be alive, things that should not exist. They do not speak, they do not move, they only watch. Some believe they are the remnants of the war, the last witnesses to a battle so ancient it was removed from history. Others fear they are something much worse, the harbingers of what is to come, because the pattern is clear. The war was never truly over. It was merely paused, sealed away, and now, after an eternity of waiting, the seal is breaking. Something is returning, something beyond understanding, beyond time itself. And the final phase of the countdown is about to begin. The countdown reaches 0. Across the galaxy, the void awakens. The stars flicker, their light twisting unnaturally. Space itself begins to fold, contorting like something alive, as if the fabric of reality is trying, desperately, to resist what is coming, but resistance is futile. They have returned, not invaders, not conquerors, something far worse. From the darkness of the silent void, structures begin to emerge. Monolithic citadels of impossible design, colossal remnants of a war long erased. Some float lifelessly, shattered relics of ancient battles. Others are not relics at all. They pulse with unnatural energy, waking from their millennia-long slumber. Machines stir, weapons power up. Forgotten technology hums to life, and at the heart of it all, the harbinger, a being neither flesh nor machine, neither alive nor dead. A presence older than galaxies themselves, locked away when the war was lost, but never truly defeated. A force that had no name, because to name it was to summon it. Across the cosmos, those who have felt its presence, the survivors, the prophets, the ones who have seen beyond the veil of time, speak a single phrase, their voices trembling with terror. The architects have returned. They were not gods. They were not demons. They were the ones who shaped the universe itself, and then fought to unmake it. The lost war of the ancients was not a battle between civilizations. It was not a war for conquest or survival. It was a war against existence itself. A war waged between those who wished to preserve the universe and those who sought to unravel it. And now the unraveling has begun. One by one, entire sectors go dark. Communications fail, ships disappear. Fleets mobilize, desperate to stand against a force they cannot comprehend. But deep in the void, beyond the reach of mortal eyes, the architects do not rush. They do not conquer planets. They do not wage war as we understand it. They simply trace, because to them our reality was always a mistake, a temporary fracture in the grand design, and now they have come to correct it. But the real question remains. If the architects were sealed away once before, if the war was fought and lost, then who were the ones who defeated them, and more importantly, are they still out there, or has the last hope of the universe already been erased? The truth is buried in the ruins, and time is running out. Will we fight, or will we simply vanish like those who came before? Now the choice is yours. If you want to uncover more of these forbidden secrets, subscribe to XenoChronicles, like, share and leave a comment, because this is only the beginning. The past has been erased once before, but this time we will remember.